Hello, hello, everyone. I hope everybody's doing good today. I'm actually going to update some stuff. There we go. Okay. Jace, you doing okay over there?
Yeah. Got your rice in the rice cooker.
Is there any... Oh, I was like, why is the fridge open?
Because I'm trying to open up this orange juice.
Oh, okay, never mind, never mind. Y'all, the evil has been defeated. Okay. I'm not warmed up, but we're gonna get warmed up. Actually, I'm gonna be good. Teeny drawing. I have to remember that he's in like he's in the outfit, but it's all zipped up. I'm just gonna fill this in because I don't want to fuck around with making like the tiny little lines. Sometimes when shit is just too far away, you do what you have to do. Hydrate. I haven't drank my milk yet. Lowercase yelling. That's very mellow. How you doing, Cal? I come bearing good news. No, no, caffeine headache, no. Yeah, Jace didn't throw up last night. The answer was anxiety medication. As I suspected, I had a theory and I was right. I really do thank literally every single bit of research that I've done for the Nathan book, because otherwise I would not have nearly as much information about anxiety meds as I do. And my doctor also, our primary care doctor, is smart as fuck. And with our powers combined. I recognize, could I have gone to school to be a doctor? Probably. Do I want to? Nah. Why? Oh. I just can't see, that's why. I was like, this is 2 fingers too many. We're alright. I'm gonna actually move this hand around a little bit, so let me... So that's where our door frame is there. But yeah, he's feeling a lot better. It's kind of amazing what'll happen if you actually get some sleep, you know? There we go, and now he can be up on the door frame like that instead. I also feel significantly better. I was so fucking depressed because I wasn't sleeping. And my body was like, what's going on? And I'm like, bro, I'm dying. That's what's going on. I gotta make a lot of announcements for my Kickstarter today because we're 7 days in, and my goal is to try and get 50 backers on it. I don't know if it's possible, but we're gonna try. Otherwise, these pants are relatively formless. There we go, better. There we go. What to do with me? Okay, so I can do nothing. I have to leave this like this. A peach rock star is fitting. have to be very good and do that. I have to go like that. For this, if that makes sense. Sean gets to stay. And I was like, what is her hair doing? She has her hair in a bonnet. I might braid her hair. Braids are fun. Oh yeah, and then I realized, oh, this is, hold on. Sorry, Sean. I realized that this is like the wrong brush size. What I need to do too is I realize I didn't do any, I'm gonna have her gripping the sheets, kind of. I didn't do any sheets. Oh, but I need to make sure that this is not on that layer. It needs to be on this layer. Because this is where she's sitting. And then her pillows, she's got 2 pillows. And they both are crumply as fuck. Pillars. Oh god, I'm so sorry. That's the worst. Manual labor, literally high-key, kind of sucks, actually. Like, I love and respect people that can do it, but I also am very excited for the day in which humans don't have to break themselves for jobs and we can just get, like, little robot buddies to do it, and we all have universal basic income. And then that way, people who are, like, tired of fucking lifting shit don't have to do it anymore. Because fuck that. Fuck that noise. Despite not doing Street Fighter yesterday. Oh, why do I keep putting this on the wrong layer? I ended up going to the gym. Right, exactly. Like, we need more flexible schedules for people so that way, like, we can be more kind to our own bodies so that way people don't have to suffer for no fucking reason. Because it's like, if people want to, that's one thing. Like, that's chill. That makes a lot of sense. But I feel like everyone is dying. We're all dying. Nobody is excited about it. Okay. Yeah, totally. Have you considered talking to your bosses about it, or are there just like no positions open? Or is it one of those things where it's like, it's just all a part of the kit and caboodle, unfortunately? Like, I know at, like, Whole Foods, for example, it's, like, all, the same job. Oh, gotcha. I see. It's just, like, whoever can do it at the time, whoever's free. What am I looking at here? Nothing, that's what I'm looking at. Get out of here, painting. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn this off. And then let me make sure that this is all set. I love working on panels like this because I can duplicate this. We're gonna drag it down a panel here. Like, go, buddy. No, down. Ah, true. That's the worst, though. I'm like, please, for the love of all things good. I hate that shit, too. I'm like, this was not in my original job description. You're asking me to do a bunch of random shit, and I don't want to do it. Okay, on the plus side, my perspective is correct. Look at that. Hey, thank you so much for that sub, Aqua. I don't know why the, I was like, where's the thing exploding? Look at all the witch hats. Oh my god, everybody got so many witch hats. Thank you so much for that sub, Aqua. How you doing today? I hope you're feeling a little bit better. Alright, I gotta close this door. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Getting sick is literally the worst. Like, actively awful. Oh, this is the wrong size. Oh, wait a second. If it opens... yeah, no, if it opens out, the handle's on this side. I was right. I'm sorry. I hope things get a little bit better. No, I'm okay, Jace. I'll eat some later, though. Thank you. I'm just gonna wait for my tamagoyaki and my riz. I'll wait for my rice. This'll work. Okay, there we go. Door. Ah, dang, that sucks. Hopefully you can get some, like, antivirals or antibiotics, and it'll help. Okay, sorry, my brain. The chances of Uni actually contacting my leasing office are 0. The worst thing is that there's nothing to do, so you can't go and help, or ask for a prescription. My poor platelets have to fight for their life. Yeah, well, and I guess, honestly, if anything gets super, super bad, just make sure you eat lots of potassium and magnesium, you know? Get some of those, like, Ensure protein shakes or whatever, and just chug them like you fucking... your life depends on it. And that'll help keep your body's energy up. I was so fast. I happen to be looking at the chat. I got lizard hands. But that sucks, though. I really do hope that you feel better. Oh, that's cool. But you're not immune to the other 3. Oh, I see, I see. Well, that's good, though. That means that if you travel, you won't get it, you know? Next time. Or at least that's strain next time. By the way, for anybody who's interested, I released Heaven's Equal Chapter 11, the script, onto Ko-fi. So if you're a member at the early access tier and up, you actually get access to that chapter if you want to read it. She's like, I'm so fucking tired. Girl, me too. Yeah, I know somebody actually who had dengue fever, believe it or not, from here in Colorado. It was one of my uncles actually. No joke, I'm not even shitting. It was the same uncle that got bit by a brown recluse as well, so like he's just kind of had like a shit go for like health. Nice, lots of water and Gatorade, and eating lots of Ruffles. That sounds like a good plan. He's got a target on his back. He's also highly fucking crazy, so like... Yeah, nah, the brown recluse thing was just unlucky because he lived in my grandma's basement for pretty much his whole life. And so, you know, spiders, basements. He rolled over on one in his sleep and he got bit on his back. The dengue fever thing was, I think, like, he was out hiking with some friends. That was when he was, like, younger. I don't know the full story on that one, but I do know that he has indeed had dengue fever. That was just one of those unlucky-ass things. Yeah, I've never been stung by a jellyfish either. Where we were in Greece, there was, like, no jellies. I didn't see a single one. I saw more jellyfish in Sweden than I saw when I was in Greece. But I'm sure that was beautiful to see one of those in person. They're really pretty. She looks as tired as I feel. Holy shit, girl. Mood, though. Oh my god, she looks like she's gonna pass out. Girl, you just woke up. Oh yeah, I guess I'll make this announcement just in case anybody is watching the VOD. As always, I did want to say thank you again to everybody who has backed this comic. It's been a couple days and there's been no movement on it. That's okay. I recognize that it's funded, so now we're in a secure place. So definitely no, like, crazy pressure there. Well, my goal is to try and get this thing above 50 backers. Do I think that it's going to happen? Maybe. But the only way that that'll work is if people keep sharing it on social media and sharing the comic or retweeting stuff, or I should say re-skeeting stuff on Blue Sky, the stuff that I am posting about the comic and things like that. So even if you can't back, because I do have this region locked as well, it won't, physical rewards don't ship to anywhere outside of the US. But that being said, it would be an immense help to me if you kept reposting and sharing all of my stuff. That would be amazing. But I'm super stoked about it. I'd love to be able to get to my stretch goal so that I can actually make some royalties off of this instead of just barely breaking even. So if you wouldn't mind sharing my project around, or if you see me over on social media, over on the Blue Sky or the TikTok or the YouTube, just hitting a share or a like or a comment on any of my stuff boosts it in the algorithm and will help other people see it. So I appreciate everybody that backed it so quickly. That was really helpful. If we can get more people on it, it might jump into the Kickstarters we love category, which is really like the main goal, is to get it over there. That would be dope. I love doing these little mouths. These kinds of expressions are my favorite because you can really bend the human face. So fun. Yeah, perfect expression. Typhoniforms like the Man of War are super cool, but would not want to touch. Yeah, true. It still sucks. Still hurts like a bitch. Yeah, I think, well, because they don't have brains. And especially, like, Man-O-Wars are, like, a collection of other creatures. They don't have the ability to be like, oh, I want that to die. She looks how I was feeling the last hour of my shift today mood. Well, and to be fair, Wukong is telling her in this panel that he's like, hey, I want to go stake out your mom's house because I don't trust the cop. So, unfortunately, she's about to learn that, like, not everybody is on her side ever. And, Bo's about to be an asshole. So that does suck. I love her bonnet. Isn't it cute? She's cute. You gotta protect your hair somehow. I'm actually gonna go like that. I figured it was, like, the only way to, like, have her sleep, because I don't imagine that she's the kind of person to leave her hair unprotected when she sleeps. Doesn't make a lot of sense because she takes a lot of care of her hair. But even still, if I had like 4C hair, I would not want to wake up with either 1, a bunch of fall off, or 2, damage, or 3, like, just all in all tangles. That sounds not fun. Putsuta. Maybe Guangsa. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Oh, nice. That's dope. A few toidles. That's neat. Hello? This song tickles my ears in such a good way because there are so many languages happening all at once, and it makes my ears so happy. He pronounces Swedish like Chinese, though, which I think is really funny. Actually. Okay, I will have to, like, think about, what I'm doing with the background here, but thankfully I already kind of drew the window and shit. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy settled. God, she looks so tired. I get it. I like her little weird nub fingers because we have like... There we go. Now I gotta figure out... let's do this. Oh, nope, this. And that. And this. Oh my god. Yeah, that's fine. Meow. Hello? Yeah. Oh my god. Sometimes when I click with my tablet, it clicks and then unclicks, and I don't know why. Yeah, this is Run Boy Run by Woodkid. If you've never listened to Woodkid, I would highly, highly, highly recommend listening to him. He's wonderful. He sings beautifully in French. He's just like, he's such a talented composer. Sure, I'm just gonna frame her in here. I'm not even really gonna color in this whole background, I don't think. One color. Or multiple colors. I'm not even gonna tone it. Or if I do, it's gonna be really simple. Because this is all just like effectively really like basic, like yes, there's a like shape back here, but I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Hey Gamby, how are you today? Someone's gonna light it up, light it up. Hi Danny, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. Oh, might actually, this window might actually be just a touch too big. I think I'm gonna actually shrink it down just a little bit here. There we go, better. Oh wait, why? There we go. I'm doing much better. My husband is slowly getting better, and we think we found out what the cause was, so we slept through the whole night, and I am so much better rested than I was the last couple of days. I still have a little bit to recover, but things could be much worse. And yeah, I would agree. A little bit tired, but overall my day is good. I think that's a good way to sum that up. Feeling good about the pace at which I'm like working through this comic page. So all in all right. It helps that we finished most of it like last time. Oh, and I put her God, I'm so good. My understanding of like framing and stuff in Daz is really fucking. It's starting to get super good at this point. That was like a total guess, total crapshoot as to whether or not she was going to end up in the right spot. Nailed it. Oh, actually, I need to keep before I go too ham and start to erase a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it was a week without sleep ain't easy. I was starting to like really not feel super good, but now it's a lot better. I slept for like 11 hours last night. Not quite that long, but it was a long time. It felt like it anyway. Okay, I'm gonna try and not. Let's see, this is where the little, if you scrunch it up, it's where the little thing goes. Oh, but wait, it's a little bit over. Okay. And I do need, actually, before I go to ham, and I'm like, yeah, this is so easy, I don't have to think about it. I actually do need, I realize, the sheets. My throat is really dry. Okay. I'm gonna kind of draw this out here. And then let me draw Sean. Yeah, that's tough, especially if you're feeling like poopy. Also, this hand is messed up on the model, so I gotta like fix it. I'm just gonna kind of put her hands like that instead. Yeah, getting pretty severe fever is like no joke. I think about all the little like orphan Victorian children that died from literally just like fever because we didn't have good medicine back then. Also, Cal, I liked the VeggieTales video that you sent me. Because I 100% agree. VeggieTales actually kind of high-key slapped. By the way. Oh my god. Okay, but where is the... I was like, where's the bed? Because I don't need to draw anything that I don't have to. Ah, welcome back. I was just complimenting you on your VeggieTales video that you sent me on TikTok today. Because I thought it was super accurate, and also VeggieTales slaps. Oops. I don't necessarily 100% agree with his analysis. There's some things that are not quite right. Like he argues that Utterson is the main character, which is not quite accurate. But I still do think that that VeggieTales adaptation of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was one of the more accurate adaptations that we have. I do love myself a VeggieTale. Nope, it's time to feed the Snorlax. If you haven't had breakfast or food, go eat. Eat some num-nums. Oh, my ancestry results have been updated. Let's go look at it. They added 68 European regions. Let's go. In the game of life, you are the Snorlax, right? No, I applaud the Pokemon Company for creating a self-care game that effectively is like, it reminds you to eat and to sleep. I'm like, that's really pure. They did not have to do this for us, but they did. Alright, let me get rid of this. Me too. I just am curious to see how it plays. Alright. Okay, well that was pretty fast. It only took us about an hour to actually get through the rest of the line work, so that's pretty good. Nice and fast, so let's go and hit this with some shading, like, really fast. Alright. Oh, but I'm gonna need to open... my pages here. Oh, that one. This one. Surprisingly, I also ate a burrito from Taco Bell yesterday. What a time. Where is... I was like, I know that there is one. Oh, is the wall just white? Well... Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and apply whatever, maybe not as dark, but a little bit of shading to the actual room to make it a little bit darker. Yeah, well, because arguably, Cal, no matter what, I do agree that VeggieTales adapted it in the most accurate way possible. I think the main thing that happens with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is that a lot of people don't understand what the base commentary is of it, because the original message behind The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was a commentary on how people, especially in Victorian times, because that's when this thing was written, we have to remember that in Victorian culture, they were hyper obsessed with morality and being in the moral right, to the point where people were doing insanely extreme things, claiming that they were for the moral good. So, for example, locking up people that they claimed were mentally ill in, and I know that this is an outdated term, but historically accurate, unfortunately, in lunatic asylums, for things like, I'm not even shitting you, like, if you look at, like, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum here in the United States, they were locking people up for, like, fucking falling off of horses and shit. Or, quote, female disease. Like, I'm not even shitting you. It was, like, it was just amazing. And amazingly horrible. Like, bewildering, I guess is the word that I'm going to use. It's just absolutely sad that's the case. And that being said, when Robert Louis Stevenson wrote Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the commentary was on how Henry Jekyll, as a human trying to be morally perfect, trying to be the purest form of good, found that he cannot physically do that. It's physically impossible for any one human being to be 100% good or 100% evil, and unfortunately, no matter what, you are somehow both. And that's just ultimately the long and short of it. I don't think that Robert Louis Stevenson was the best writer, and I think that that's why so many people adapt The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to be more than what the original book was. I think that the guy in the VeggieTales video was correct in saying that the original, like, the main problem with the adaptations that happen a lot is that, because I know he brought up, like, quote, weird DID, the main issue that happens is that people have a hard time reconciling the fact that somebody can be simultaneously good and simultaneously evil. It's a difficult philosophical concept for them to understand. So it makes more sense to them to have two separate characters doing things that are uncharacteristic for the other character, if that makes sense. So that's fine. In my brain, that's fine. I don't think, like, I think that the story actually becomes more compelling if Henry Jekyll is not
struggling just with himself, but with something more than himself, because ultimately he opens that door in a very like Faustian way, I guess would be the way that I would to describe that. What I do have problems with in a lot of modern, like especially quote superhero adaptations and retellings of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, is that he becomes this effectively like senseless physical tool. He has no connection back to the original symbolism at all, Ed Hyde in particular, where you lose that character. And like I think of particularly the two examples, the Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen are the two particular like worst offenders for this, where he becomes effectively like, I'm evil and I like to sit in my fucking in the fucking mirror and I like to talk to Henry Jekyll and tell him to fucking just kill people senselessly because that's all I do. Like whatever the fuck they're like trying to push with that. When in reality, Ed Hyde was Henry Jekyll's coping mechanism for how evil Victorian London actually was, because I don't know, like, it's so impossible to try and get people to envision what it would have been like to live there. Like, if you guys can imagine, like, I think about, like, one of the most popular scams, for example, or I shouldn't say scams because it was really like an industry tool. It was a job. But I think about the most popular, like, money-making tool for young women at the time was this thing called baby farming. And it was very popular for young women to effectively get pregnant as much as they humanly could so that way they could have babies and then kill the babies, and then you'd get effectively a pension from the government every time you lost a baby. So you would be able to go to the country, like the country, or like I guess like the English government, and say, hey, my baby died in childbirth, because they were desperately trying to get their population numbers up, and the English government would say, oh man, we're sorry that happened. Here you go. Here is monetary compensation for your loss. And so, unfortunately, women were so poor that they decided that they were going to turn that into a business. And so there were literal baby farms where you could go and effectively perform illegal abortions and kill babies and make money off of them. And that was like things like that. You know, so when I think about England, or I think about how many bodies were in the Thames, you know, random people that just got murdered in the Thames, you know, and their bodies got chucked in there. The water was literally so dirty. It was black, and people were like bathing in it, doing their laundry in it, getting typhoid fever in it. Like, it was just such a fucking horrendous place to live. And so that's where the magic of The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde comes from, where Henry Jekyll, who is reasonably a very good person, you know, he was a lawyer and then literally stopped being a lawyer to be a full-time chemist because he was realizing that the state of the world was so bad that he felt guilty about like just everything overall, and how he was desperately trying to make things better, and eventually he's consumed by that rage, and the only way to make things better is to kill the people responsible. And that's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's the core of it. And so to turn Ed Hyde into just this senseless murder machine completely skips the whole point. And the point is that people are evil. People are horrendously evil. And the people who are the most pious are often the most evil. And that's really like the whole kicker there. Which is super unfortunate that people just kind of like miss the point. That's just kind of the way that it goes, unfortunately. So while I do find a lot of entertainment in like the adaptations that are like, yeah, I'm Ed Hyde and I'm this like gorilla sized like murder machine, it's like, that's fun, but it's a lot more interesting if there's an actual methodology to Ed's madness and why he is the way that he is. And that's the mystery. That's the mystery of the entire book, and that's what Utterson is trying to solve. Is it's like why would Henry sign over his will to a person like that who's just a murderer? And the answer is it's because Henry knew deep in his butt that Ed was right. The Great Stink of 1858 in London. Oh yeah, I know about this. Yep. Oh yeah, it's because again, the body or the river was so polluted that like 90% of it was like dead corpses. Like I'm not even I wish I was exaggerating, but it's like it was so bad. I wish it was for funnies, but it's not. It's actually just bad. Bye, Aqua. See you later. I'm wondering if hitting this with like a 20 or 30% is going to be... Yeah, because then it's obviously daytime, but it's just, well, maybe 40. Actually, I'm deciding 50 is the answer. Yeah, because I think, and maybe where the VeggieTales adaptation is like the most accurate is that they don't shy around, like, again, the mystery, but the mystery, like, you can't understand the work if you don't understand the politics for what was going on at the time. And I think that that's unfortunately why a lot of people don't like classical Gothic literature and why I personally like to specialize in it. Like, in high school, that was all I was reading was Gothic literature. But much like anything else, if you don't understand when it was written and why it was written, it doesn't make any sense. It starts to like just be like you miss the whole cultural point of it, which is not really like what you want. And that's where I think a lot of adaptations fall pretty short. Or they change the purpose of Hyde, which is, again, not a bad thing depending on the adaptation and, like, what you're trying to do with it. But, if your goal is to talk about morality, then it just misses the mark. Because every piece of Victorian literature is typically a piece of political commentary. Even Dracula is a piece of political commentary. Like, hardcore, actually. But it's like the same issue, actually, that I run into with, like, Journey to the West. I find the same thing happens when it gets adapted for Western audiences most of the time, is that they completely remove any kind of cultural context of the Buddhism, Taoism, spirituality, Hinduism, politics, all of those things from that period. And China, just Chinese like culture in particular. And so then I feel like the novel or like whatever adaptation it is just falls short because it doesn't actually address the issues of what's going on. And also, too, for whatever fucking reason, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde gets adapted for kids a lot. And I don't know why that is, because it's the content is insanely adult. Like, it's effectively a fucking body horror. So that's confusing to me. Page Master, I'm looking at you. I see what you did. And I fucking love the Page Master, but it's a weird choice. Yeah, I think people forget too that Utterson is not the main character, he's the vehicle, which is really popular for Gothic literature as well. Like a lot of Gothic novels have like what I would call a vehicle. So you're like hearing it through diary entries, or you're like looking at it through somebody's notes on something, but they're not actually the main character. They're like they are the VR camera that we are stuck to, but they are not the main character. Because, like, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Utterson's perspective is 2 chapters. It's the prologue, the very first chapter, and then the very last chapter. 98.5% of the book is from Henry Jekyll's perspective as he's writing in his journal, describing what happens to him and why. So I wouldn't consider Utterson the main character in that way. He's the narrator. Oh my god, Jace, you're getting targeted. You've been targeted specifically. I'm sorry that you are being attacked. That's why I need to work on my Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde adaptation so that I can unnecessarily write about morality and how people are disgusting. Because that's going to be like 99% of that book. It's going to be fucking awful and really depressing, probably. I've been working a lot on like adult fiction, and I'm realizing that like a majority of the reason why I like started writing middle grade truly was because everything was depressing as fuck, and so it's been really difficult for me actually to work on the adult fiction pieces that I've been working on because they are so sad. And so I'm like trying to not die working on this shit. Alright, so now the question is... This is so small that I don't think I'm gonna shade it. I know I'm so lazy. I just don't foresee me caring enough.
Okay, cool. As long as I can catch him. There we go. And the essence of Wukong is there. I'm not gonna worry about it too bad. I'm not gonna worry about it. Now, unfortunately, I do have to include these paintings and stuff in here. But I'm not gonna... Hello? Where is the gap? Oh, never mind. I am a fool. I was but a fool. I guess it doesn't really matter. Hello? Come on. There we go. Whee! I'm also gonna do this, I guess. And then this. Because he's going back out into the hallway, which is slightly darker. And now I need to open... Okay. Alright, we now have 1 billion new regions in Ancestry.com for me to look at. Let's see. I'm looking for... Did I save that? Oh, of course I didn't. Because guess who didn't think I was going to need it? It was me. Let's go see if we can find it. Oh, that's not gonna do it. Oh, I think it was like this one. It's at least close enough that nobody will care. Hello? Okay, so let's see. Yep, as I suspected,
Ancestry is telling me that I am not English at all, but instead Welsh. Welsh and Scottish. Define Southern Germanic Europe. Oh, Austrian specifically. Interesting. And some English. Y'all, I got some French Canadian in me somehow. Where the fuck that came from, I will never know. That's new. Jace, if it makes you feel any better, they took away my Chinese. I have Moroccan in me too, but that makes sense because of Spain. I have about as much Norwegian in me, just slightly less Norwegian than as I do Native American, Indigenous American. Which is pretty funny to me. That's silly Billy to me. Yeah, Acadia specifically. I don't know why. I'm assuming somebody must have emigrated from, I would guarantee Wales, Scotland, or England into Acadia, then down into, like, Georgia would have been my best guess there. Oh, it is this exact image. Okay, thank God. I got the memory. I know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm not going to do this to myself again, just in case I need it ever. I got that sweet, sweet Welsh. And then... yeah, could have been. Could have been. Yeah, and I don't have access to the Ancestry.com, like, I guess I should say the, actual, like, records side is just the DNA side. The majority of my entire existence, though, is Welsh, English. I've got, like, a good chunk of 5. It's Welsh, English, German, or, well, I should say Welsh, English, Austrian, Indigenous American, and Norwegian. Those are my big 5. And I can tell exactly who came from where, because the Welsh and English is... Welsh is from my dad. Norwegian is from my dad. English and Austrian is from my grandmother. Indigenous American is from my abuelo. So that's pretty dope. I like it when they give me little updates like this. To Spanish Louisiana. Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of my family is from French Louisiana. So, so that could be actually my grandmother would be those folks. I got lots of Cajun Creole on my mom's side of the family. I do indeed. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You can learn a lot about people's ancestry by looking at genes, But knowing that local history and okay, well, why would somebody have moved? Question is always like that'll answer it like 9 times out of 10. I have to slowly erase this shit here. Get out of here! Click. Oh, except I don't actually like where that's positioned. There we go. And actually, that's better. I'm gonna actually also do a little bit on this side too. Okay. Beep, boop. Okay, but we're slowly getting there. It looks like I'm actually going to successfully finish this panel today, which is great news. Oops. Whoops.
Now the question is do I do a cool lighting effect here? And I think the answer is yes. So I'm gonna turn this off. Y'all, this is it's madness. Hello? I feel like me like working with Photoshop 9 times out of 10 is just me in here being like, like that's what streams are, is it's just like fucking confusion. It's a lot of screaming. Okay, so now let me see here. Actually, I'm gonna have to be more precise with this. I'm gonna go like this. Oh my god. And then let me make sure that I am doing this right. I don't often do like lighting effects in my work, so making sure that this is right is really important. Do I want to do things like this? No. Even though I don't normally do this. And then, I guess actually... Yeah, nice. All right, now let's get some dialogue in here. Woo!
Do, 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 do. I love how he fucking woke her up at dawn. What an asshole. Do, 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 do. My brain is soup. I'm glad that I was able to get through most of this page today without having too many issues. Hydrate and a posture check. I'm actually out of oh, my tea is over there and has been sitting over there. I'm gonna go get it. It's probably way oversteeped. Jeez, my timer for my tea went off and you did nothing.
I didn't realize you had a timer going.
Yeah, I did. That's okay. We'll see if it's oversteeped or not. It's probably fine.
Because I had my food in the microwave, and so my brain was like, oh, it's just going off because the microwave
Yeah.
is going.
No, it's good.
Okay.
We forgot my tea. You know what? Oolong is really notoriously difficult to oversteep, though, so it tastes fine. We're okay. I peed on myself, though, on accident. The bottom of this cup has, like, a weird hole in it. So when it goes in the dishwasher, it absorbs a bunch of water inside it. And if you tilt it, then a bunch of water shoots out. And now I have water on my leg. And it's very sad. You tell me that. I'm so sorry. What in the actual fuck is Dr. Heckle and Mr. Hype? What in the singular flying fuck? God damn it! It's just a fucking. It's another Mr. Limpet movie. It's just, and this is the problem. This is where I agree with that VeggieTales analysis, man. Is that I'm just fucking sick of Mr. Limpet movies. See, but at least that's a good commentary, though. Because I do think that, wow, fuck, if I can, I'm alright. I do think that, adapting, specific shit to fit, modern commentary is really important. So having a movie about, like, hey, you know, you don't get what you want always, and now you're extra violent, and you're a violent, male predator, that's an interesting commentary to make, so I'll take that. It's a little bit more interesting than just like, oh, Gorilla Man goes smash. What the hell is a Mr. Limpet movie? Oh, Mr. Limpet. Norbit, or not Norbit. What is that other movie? There's a billion of them. So, the original, almost Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde-like movie was this film, and it's called The Incredible Mr. Limpet. And this movie is about, it's based off of a book, I believe. Yeah, Theodore Pratt. It's a book about a man who is a nerd. He's very undesirable. He does not like humans, and he thinks that, to be honest, living with fish would be a lot better of a life for him. And he ends up getting turned into a fish and goes and lives in the ocean. And ultimately, at the end of the film, makes the decision that he wants to be a fish forever because he does not like... Oh yeah, and he also stops a German U-boat. He also stops the Nazis. I forgot about that. Which is pretty great. This film is very camp. And it's a very weird movie. But ultimately, what we have is an archetype of a wimpy man. Like, here's a poster of him looking at Uncle Sam. He's a soy boy who feels like he can't live up to masculine expectations, and he is just overall like a wimp, a little weenie. And then by transforming into something else, he ends up becoming something better. But there have been so many movies that use this exact premise. It's a similar Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde premise, but The Nutty Professor, that's the movie that I'm thinking of. This is another movie that was remade a couple of times. One was with Eddie Murphy, where, again, this movie's insanely fat-phobic, actually. You have Eddie Murphy in a fat suit who gets transformed into a, quote, hot guy. So that's really shitty. The one that I'm familiar with is the Jerry Lewis one, because this is the one that I grew up with, where, again, you have people who are intentionally made to be, quote, super ugly, and then they turn, quote, hot. So here's hot Jerry Lewis in a nice smoking jacket with a little cigarette. But he's a dick. He's, yeah, he becomes just like an absolute asshole. And that's kind of the point, is that he becomes a huge dick. And I think this particular movie is a little bit better because the love interest is actually more interested in his personality, and she thinks that this version of him is an asshole. So at least that has like some nice lesson to it, versus all I remember of the Eddie Murphy version is that it was like insanely fatphobic and just like really not funny, like just overall like uncool. Just, I don't know. I would not have personally it could not get made today because it was like so offensive. So I get really sick of those particular tropes. I just don't find them very like interesting. And I think that that is the furthest move away from like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde that you could possibly go, where the point of the entire original piece is completely lost. So many people wanted to play off of the trope of like I think it's like the Grease trope where it's like, oh, Sandy got hot and then that made her love interest realize that he liked her, and it's like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, okay, and I can't forget that I have to have the title image on here too. Yeah, so the original, the OG was this this movie called The Incredible Mr. Limpet. And it's got some fun. Mr. Limpet at least has him fighting Nazis, which I feel like is iconic. And also, too, for whatever fucking reason, he's like, you know what? Fuck people. Actually, I'm being a fish forever. I don't even care. I'm breaking free. I think maybe Mr. Limpet was right. He's like, hold on, everything is awful. Can you imagine if we all just decided to just give the fuck up and then just be fish? Oh yeah, see, I don't remember. Oh yeah, because we're talking about the Nutty Professor, not Norbit, but that also has a bunch of similar similar tones to it. Yeah, there was a lot of weird internalized racism too. I don't remember who the love interest was in the Nutty Professor. Yeah, they're very similar though, and similar in problem in terms of like how they're executed. So that's definitely, you're not crazy. It came from a specific era of like filmmaking where the main goal was to just shit on as many groups of people as possible, which was like I to this day still don't like quote comedy films because I grew up in a period where yeah, comedy was not actually very funny. It was really difficult to find good comedy movies that didn't punch down. It was like yeah, really hard. It was a weird time. The early 2000s were not great, all things considered. Okay, so now we're gonna do planning for the next page. Alright, so now I'm gonna uncrop this. I'm going to delete this, save this, actually turn this off and then save this. And then I can get rid of this, this, and this. I can't believe we're over 230 pages. This is crazy. You're too sensitive and overthinking. It's like, no, y'all are just being mean. Like, actually, y'all are awful. Okay, so let me think here. How do I want to lay this out? Okay, so let's see. Actually, I'm gonna hit that like this. And then actually, let me duplicate this so that way. Hello? Sure. I might move that like, oops, like this. Please. Oh, please, why? Fine, I'll do it like this, you demon. Okay. Sweet. I find myself not liking when comedians spend their entire set shitting on themselves. Yeah, no, truly. Yeah, because sometimes you can do that in a way that's like, this thing happened to me and it was stupid, relatable, and then that's like, that's funny, like, that makes sense. But I totally understand that, though. Okay, Heike. Hate to be this guy, but I might use this panel again. And I don't even feel bad about it. Yoink! They're walking. They're walking here. Except I'm going to have to do what I call the trick of all tricks, the trickaroni. So now what I need to do is I need to, well, one, actually, just kidding. Shrink this down to where it's in a reasonable spot. Can I? This is how we're going to do this. I don't think that's going to be enough. We're going to see how much this sucks. Oh wait, that's not how this works. Let's see if this looks like booty hole. Because I don't need it to be perfect. Ain't bad. The crosswalk at least looks fine. So I'm going to use it. It could be worse. Could be worse. We're going to use it. Yeah, that looks actually... I'm actually going to bring it down a little bit because I'm realizing my perspective is like high-key kind of bad. And I need Sean and Wukong to be a little bit larger. Like that. Okay, so let me merge this together. Actually, I don't like how close they are to the bottom of the panel.
better. And actually, I don't know why I'm like this. Hold on. I'm fine. That works. All right, save. I love it when things work out like this. When we can just reuse another panel that we did one time. Huge fan. All right. I'm gonna see if I can get my blocking done for this before we are done. And if we can, amazing. Hydrate! I'm drinking tea. Me down to hate me. Show me your pretty, I'll show you mine. You love to hate me. Okay. You know that moment when you like straight bork the arms? Okay, this is fine. Okay, what did we decide she was wearing? Not like it matters, but let me go check Kofi. What do we got? Bell bottoms. A muscle tank top. I love how somebody just voted on just pants. Sean doesn't need shirt. She just needs only pants. A muscle tank. And sneakers. So, she can't put her hands in her pockets.
which is really all that I need to know. I'm like, can we have her put hands in pockets, or is this going to be a problem? Let me see what we're doing here. Nah, this is fine. Hold on. I'm trying to make her arm not broken. It's not working. Actually, I hate this body language. Just kidding. Alright, time to drag this over here. No nippies for Bezos. Otherwise, I'll get fucking fought. Someone will try and kill me. I don't need that in my life. Hold on, I need to think about... What is the dialogue here? Let me think about how I'm positioning all of this shit. Hello? Sometimes you just have to make the kid smaller than you think. I'm gonna do a cutaway panel here. So it's gonna go up and over. Yeah. Can I get the rest of this positioning done in 10 minutes? We're gonna find out. No! I just start yelling, like... Boy, howdy, we do love censoring junk. This is, he said he knew your grandpa, right? Oh, I can close that now. But I've changed this anyway. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then hold on, I gotta do some shit here. I have to line... Actually, I'm gonna swap this. Hold on. I'm all right. This is such an important part of this process, to be honest. Okay, not bad. Okay, I just need a different street here. And I'm going to have to get a different, well, let me actually pick a background first, and then I'm going to, position my camera to match, because otherwise this is going to suck. It's not bad. I like that one. It's kind of interesting. I like this one too. Okay, we're making it happen. I like this very huge Louis Vuitton ad here. All right, so now if I save this out, I'm going to save it as so I guess I don't have too many of these, but saving these out is important. Because I need to just show movement through the city is the most important part. Nice framing, and I'm going to put them like right there. Yep. Oh, but I don't like that cropping necessarily. Hold on, let me move this down. There we go, better. It's tough because there's so much bleed that like everything below this line effectively gets cut off. Like, okay, I think in theory this should work, but if I need to move it again, we'll try it. Before I do anything and even censor this bad boy, I'm just gonna move it. Oh my god, I'm right. God, my spatial awareness is heckin' good. Oh god, I'm good. Yeah. All right, cool. So we blocked that. We finished this. So all in all, very productive day. That was crazy. And then I'll be back tomorrow to work on this next panel. So It's definitely interesting changing my pace up and working on 2 pages a week. It feels a lot faster. But yeah, all in all, that's fine. It'll be good. Good times. Cool. Well, thank you to everybody who hung out. And I will be back tomorrow. I hope everybody has a really good rest of their day. Eat some snacks, get some lunch, and I will see you all soon. So, talk to you later. Bye-bye.